As the crown prince, I've often felt that something is deeply wrong with this dynasty. My father, the emperor, was obsessed with finding stand-ins for a lost love. His harem of 8,000 women all have practically the same face. The Grand General is a hopeless romantic, willing to trade a city for a single person. Every minister's family has a pair of real and fake daughters who do nothing all day. They just spend their days figuring out new ways to show favoritism. I finally endured all this nonsense until my ascension to the throne. And now, my own imperial consort and secondary consort have decided to elope together. A death sentence. They will all die by my command. Don't ask me why I'm so extreme. It's because I have put up with this kingdom for far too long. Today, my father the emperor passed away. All I have to do is pay my respects to the empress dowagers in the West Palace. And I will be the new sovereign of the Great Yang. Yet, the moment I stepped into the main hall of the West Palace, I found 36 women seated on phoenix thrones. 36 identical faces were staring at me with faint, knowing smiles. This is the mess my father left me. 36 empresses, who are now 36 empress dowagers. Every single one of them looks exactly like my late mother's portrait. My father was truly insane. No wonder he died so young in his 50s. Imagine waking up to a crowd of your own mothers calling you husband. Shock alone would be enough to kill you. I took a deep breath, walked to the first phoenix throne, and bowed slightly. Your son, Li Hua, pays his respects to the first empress dowager. By the time I had greeted all 36 of them, an entire incense stick had burned down. 36 bows, 36 offerings of tea. By the time I left the West Palace, the sky seemed to have grown brighter. I'll never have to come to this godforsaken place again. Just then, a young eunuch rushed over, his forehead dripping with sweat. But Kong Shi, the eunuch who has served me for years, stopped him with a scolding. You're a veteran from the Crown Prince's palace. Why are you being so reckless? After hearing his report, I pinched the bridge of my nose. Are you telling me that the imperial consort and secondary consort, betrothed to me by the late emperor, have decided to pursue true love? And so they took the command token I gave them, commandeered 200 of my personal guards, and fled the capital? Kongman replied with a pained expression, Yes, your majesty. The imperial consort's status is, after all, quite noble. Your humble servant. I waved my hand dismissively. I sighed softly and said, I understand. Another one has gone mad. Oh, no, a pair of them. Send a message to Yang Dong. Tell him to take his men and bring those two women, who are foolish enough to be put on display for all nations, back here. Throw them into the imperial dungeon and await my judgment. Kongman hesitated, Your Majesty, are we really arresting them? She is very likely to be the future empress. I looked at Kongman and said softly, Mobilizing troops without permission is a usurpation of sovereign power. They are asking to die. If I don't arrest them, am I to wait for the entire world to laugh at me? Upon hearing this, Kongman's eyes grew cold. He lowered his voice, Your humble servant understands. It seems their dreams of becoming empress and noble consort are over. Because those two women are going to die. Kongman quickly turned and departed. Expressionless, I boarded the imperial palanquin and said coldly, to the golden throne hall. Kong Shi hastily gestured for the procession to start. He knew why I was angry. His eyes, too, held a murderous glint. The new emperor has just ascended the throne, not even held his first court, and something like this happens. The imperial consort wants to tell the world that His Majesty is cruel to his own family and lacks tolerance. The woman most likely to become empress chose not to stay by His Majesty's side after his ascension. How will the world view His Majesty now? The palanquin soon arrived outside the golden throne hall. 10,000 imperial guards stood in neat formation, their armor gleaming. Shaking off his thoughts, Kong Shi concealed the coldness in his eyes, stepped forward, and announced loudly, His Majesty has arrived. In the next moment, a unified shout erupted from both inside and outside the golden throne hall. Long live the Emperor! Long live the Emperor! The cry was so loud it shook the heavens. I stepped down from the palanquin and looked at the sea of kneeling subjects, a sense of anticipation in my eyes. These are all the pillars of our great Yang. My beloved ministers, you may rise. Soldiers, dispense with the formalities. I slowly ascended the imperial steps. Seated on the dragon throne, Kong Shi thoughtfully cracked his whip to command silence. The 100 officials lowered their heads and stood in silence. Within the utterly quiet golden throne hall, my calm voice echoed, My dear ministers, do you have any matters to report? The next moment, an elderly voice spoke up. This old minister has an impertinent request, and I beg your majesty to grant it. I looked at the speaker, Grand Tutor Zhou Yan, with warmth in my eyes. This man is a paragon of literary virtue in our great Yang. Grand Tutor Zhou, please speak your mind, I said gently. Zhou Yan spoke loudly. This old minister implores your majesty to bestow a marriage upon my youngest daughter and the top scholar. I asked, puzzled. I recall that the new top scholar, Lin Yunxiao, is your prized disciple, is he not? And isn't your daughter, Pinjing, mutually in love with him? So why is an imperial decree needed? Zhou Yan sighed. Your majesty, if I may explain. Yunxiao has been getting quite close to a fisherman's daughter recently, but my daughter refuses to marry anyone but him. This old minister fears my daughter will be wronged, so I wish to ask your majesty to bestow the marriage. To settle the matter first. Hearing this, I frowned. What's so special about a fickle man? This Zhou Pinjing must be sick in the head. However, Zhou Yan was a great help in my ascension to the throne. I must grant him this small favor. I grant it, I announced. Kong Shi, draft the decree. Seeing his goal achieved, Zhou Yan hastily expressed his thanks and returned to the ranks of his colleagues, beaming with joy. My dear ministers, are there any other matters to report? I asked expectantly. I've worked alongside these people for 10 years, but this is the first time I've governed from here. I, too, felt a sense of novelty. 10 years as regent had made the ministers somewhat familiar with my limits. Now that I had just ascended the throne and there were no urgent matters, the ministers tacitly remained silent. Seeing this, I announced, since my dear ministers have nothing to report, I have a matter to attend to. I wish to release the late emperor's concubines from the palace. What are all your thoughts on this? Upon hearing this, the minister's brows furrowed deeply. The late emperor had only just passed away. To release his concubines now, wasn't that a bit too hasty? Although the late emperor's selection of 36 concubines sparked a popular uprising, and they were all called demonic consorts who would ruin the country. Didn't I pacify the rebellions and handle everything cleanly? Why is he settling scores now? Could it be that His Majesty also believes they are the women who brought ruin to our nation? The Minister of Revenue, Yi Zhenga, stepped forward to ask, Your Majesty, how do you plan to release them? With the honors befitting an imperial consort? Or will you strip them of their titles, reduce them to commoners, and send them out of the palace with a sum of money? I said decisively, naturally, we will strip them of their titles, give them some money, and send them out of the palace. That sick old father of mine might have liked these people, but I can't stand the sight of those 36 ladyboys for another second. I suppose they're all waiting for it anyway. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been unable to even squeeze out a tear when the late emperor passed away. Seeing my firm attitude, and since the matter did not harm their own interests, the ministers all chorused in agreement, Your Majesty is wise and brilliant. This benevolent act will be recorded in the annals of history. After the court session was dismissed, having dealt with that major thorn in my side, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. I impatiently arranged for people to send those 36 ladyboys out of the palace. My gaze swept around, and I saw Kong and pacing outside the hall. This must mean the people have been captured. I immediately turned and went to the rear hall. A short while later, Kongman reported in a low voice, reporting to Your Majesty. The crown princess and the other one have been captured. They are in the imperial prison, awaiting your judgment. A cold glint flashed in my eyes. I said softly, have Lai Kang interrogate them thoroughly. Find out who instigated these two fools to cause me trouble. Then, sentence them to death. But knowing those two foolish women, they probably weren't instigated by anyone. It was purely their own initiative being too strong. What initiative am I even talking about? I fear I've been infected by these two fools. You, sentence yourself to death, too. At that moment, the court officials had just left the morning assembly and were walking towards the palace gates when they ran into a group of sturdy palace maids. They were helping a group of beautiful women in plain clothes move their belongings. Grand Tutor Zhou Yan was somewhat curious. Just then, one of the women looked up, her eyes meeting those of the officials. The moment Zhou Yan saw her face, his legs went weak. He hurriedly bowed and greeted her, my respects to the Empress Dowager. The woman in plain clothes' expression faltered. She shook her head repeatedly, Sir, you mustn't bow so carelessly. Hearing this, the other women in plain clothes all looked up. The next moment, under the bright daylight, the murmuring court officials suddenly fell silent. Staring at 36 identical faces sent a chill down their spines, and they drew a sharp, collective breath. Are we seeing ghosts? Why are there so many Empress Dowagers? But didn't the real Empress Dowager pass away from illness 10 years ago? Even the composed and venerable Zhou Yan was so shaken his face twitched. Only then did they finally understand in their hearts why I was in such a hurry to send these women out of the palace. Late Emperor, just how many Empress Dowagers did you find? And you had to find them all to look like the same person. The officials didn't dare linger and hurriedly scattered. This was just too bizarre. By this time, I had returned to the imperial study. Kang Shi walked in with a grim expression and whispered, "Your Majesty, those two are making a scene in the imperial prison. They're demanding to see you." I chuckled and shook my head. "Those two fools want to see me? Very well, prepare the carriage, we're going to the imperial prison. I'd like to see what kind of story they can possibly spin." As I stepped into the imperial prison, before I was even close to the two fools' cell, I heard the faint sound of their conversation. "That incompetent tyrant. How could he treat me like this? Once we get out, we'll make him regret it." Listening to them from around the corner, a vein throbbed on my forehead. Beside me, Kang Shi and Lai Kang were completely at a loss, not daring to meet my eyes. I suddenly looked at Lai Kang and said coldly, "For them to be in a place like this and still have the heart for such intimate chatter. Is it because you haven't tortured them?" Lai Kang's face went white. He fell to his knees, his voice trembling. "Your Majesty, please, they are, after all, the crown princess candidates appointed by the late emperor. This subordinate did not dare let your Majesty bear the name of an unfilial son." I pinched the bridge of my nose in frustration. I let out a light cough to announce my arrival. The two women, who had been scuffling in the cell, heard the sound. They hurriedly straightened their clothes. The tall, thin Yun-Ru stood up, her face filled with indignation. She looked at me and said accusingly, "Your Majesty, you have already ascended the throne and rule over the entire realm. Why do you lack the magnanimity of a monarch? Besides, you don't even love us. So why won't you grant us our freedom?" Behind me, Kang's eyes were filled with worry. He knew just how much I used to dote on these two women, not only giving them waist tokens, but even allowing them to command my personal guards. I stared at the two of them, my gaze dark and deep. After a moment, I said softly, "Yun-Ru, is there anything else you'd like to say to me?" Yun-Ru looked into my calm eyes and said in a low voice, "I know you like me and you. But you and I don't love you. When we played with you in the Crown Prince's residence back then, it was only to get closer to you. You misunderstood. My apologies for that." I nodded. "Are you finished?" "I'm finished." My gaze shifted to their clasped hands. I suddenly smiled. When Yun-Ru and Yi saw this, they immediately sighed in relief and exchanged a smile. The next moment, I calmly said, "Sentence them to death." Hearing this, Kang Shi immediately stepped forward with a cold expression. 2 crimson pills silently appeared in his palm, and he forcefully shoved them into the two women's mouths. Snapping back to their senses, the women's faces paled as they desperately tried to gag and claw the pills out. Tears and snot streamed down their faces, but it was useless. "This isn't happening. This isn't how it's supposed to be. We've already maxed out your affection points. Why are you killing us? You should be helping us be together. This is wrong. Just where did it all go wrong?" Listening to their nonsense, my expression didn't change one bit. "Affection points? What is this gibberish? You moved military troops without permission and dared to act so recklessly in my name. If you don't die, should I?" It wasn't long before the poison took effect. The two of them bled from their 7 orifices and breathed their last. I watched this scene calmly and said softly, "What a pair of ill-fated lovebirds." At that moment, a jailer suddenly came up to Lai Kang and reported in a low voice, "Chief, there's a girl at the prison entrance with the Crown Prince's token, causing a scene. She insists on seeing the 2 Crown Princesses and your Majesty." Lai Kang broke into a cold sweat and whispered harshly, "Get rid of her, now." I sighed. "Another crazy one. I don't blame you. Let her in." The jailer brought the woman before me. I sighed and said, "Liang Xiao, I knew it would be you. It was you who made them leave me, wasn't it?" Liang Xiao held her head high. Like a proud hen, she announced, "That's right. What's wrong with the 2 consorts pursuing true love? Haven't you heard it's better to tear down 10 temples than to ruin 1 marriage? And yet, your Majesty, you stood in their way for your own selfish reasons." I waved my hand, silencing her. "I didn't stand in their way. Look, the 2 oh so in love Crown Princesses are right behind you, together like lovebirds." Liang Xiao turned her head and saw the 2 bodies, bleeding from their 7 orifices, no longer breathing. Her face filled with horror, and she roared, "Your Majesty, how could you treat human life so cheaply?" I almost had to laugh at Liang Xiao, the girl who grew up with me. So, all this time in the Crown Prince's residence, she let those 2 fools brainwash her to this degree. All people are equal. If I hadn't risked my own life to see the former emperor and have her family's name cleared, she would still be a wanted fugitive. I looked at the indignant woman and said softly, "Sentence her to death as well. My younger brother has fallen ill, too." Kang Shi gave Lai Kang a look. Lai Kang understood instantly. Taking advantage of Liang Xiao's daze, He clapped a hand over her mouth and dragged her away. A moment later, a muffled thud came from the shadows. Lai Kang walked back out with a grim face and bowed deeply. Your Majesty, she has been taken care of. I stood up and said with relief, finally, some peace. Let's go. Back to the palace. On the way back, Kong Shi seemed to have something to say but hesitated. Your Majesty, should we perhaps set up a memorial tablet for Liang Xiao and the others? There's no need, I said calmly, they aren't worthy. I knew Kong Shi was testing my resolve. But why would people who have already betrayed me be worthy of my grief? Inform Lai Kang. As for the 200 personal guards who left the estate with them, the leader is to be sentenced to death. The corporals are to be stripped of their rank and demoted to common soldiers. The rest will all be sent to the emperor's estates as commoners, barred from joining the imperial guard for 3 generations. The street cleaning officials had already swept the roads clean. I slightly lifted the curtain to look at the eager expressions of the commoners on the street. I smiled faintly. Now this is what a prosperous, normal country should look like. But in the next moment, I couldn't smile anymore. I even began to question my own sanity, raising a hand to rub my eyes. After rubbing them, I closed my eyes in anguish. Very good, it wasn't an illusion. Stop the carriage. Kangxi felt a sense of unease. I stepped out of the imperial carriage and walked towards a young man with a basket on his back, carrying a full cloth bag in each hand. The young man was being scolded by a woman pointing her finger right at his nose. Look at you, so clumsy. I was originally going to test you until the end of this year. But since you messed up again today, this young lady is punishing you with another half a year of testing. I'll decide whether to accept your proposal after that half a year. The young man was a little displeased, but he still said fawningly, Yanner, my dear, don't be angry. How about I compensate you with 5 new boxes of rouge? It was my fault for dropping things just now, but I really didn't have any free hands to hold them. The woman snorted coldly, oh, so you're blaming me now? In that case, let's just go our separate ways. The young man hurriedly scurried over like a lackey. Yanner, how could I possibly be blaming you? I'm just trying to explain. I'm not listening, I'm not listening, I'm not listening. You are blaming me. Either we add another half a year to the test, or we go our separate ways. Add it, add it, add it. The young man whispered obsequiously, we can add a lifetime, anything is fine. Only then did the woman retract her anger. That's more like it. In a bit, you take these things back to the manor. My cousin and I are going to a poetry gathering. The young man said unhappily, Yanner, I want to go to the poetry gathering too. The woman said coldly, you'd just embarrass me if you went. We can talk about it when your studies amount to something. For now, it's better to let my cousin go. He's so dashing and elegant, perfect for a poetry gathering. The young man said, dejected, all right, I'll head back to the manor first. When my studies finally amount to something. Listening from behind them, my breathing grew slightly ragged. Beside me, Kangxi's eyes were wide with astonishment. Your Majesty, that seems to be His Highness, Prince Rui. I said expressionlessly, it doesn't seem to be him. It is him, that hopeless fool. My younger brother, the current Prince Rui of this dynasty, is being scolded like a dog on the street. This isn't just a slap to his face as Prince Rui. It's a slap to my face. At that moment, Prince Rui, Li Wei, spoke again. Yanner, you said you'd marry me once I've saved up 100 taels. Does that promise still stand? A flash of contempt crossed Lu Yanner's eyes. How much have you saved so far? Less than 10 taels. And after I compensate you for the 5 boxes of rouge, I'll only have 1 tael left. Lu Yanner chuckled. It's fine. I'll marry you when you've saved up 100 taels. Alrighty. Li Hui's eyes lit up. Yanner, I'll head back to the manor first. Wait for me. Li Wei turned to leave, but in an instant, he was forced to the ground by plainclothes brocade guards. The next moment, Lu Yanner, her face a mask of confusion, was also forced down before me. She struggled to lift her head and demanded petulantly, who are you? How dare you be so rude? Do you have any idea who I am? I waved my hand expressionlessly. Kangxi understood and stepped forward. 3 consecutive slaps landed, so hard that Lu Yanner's vision cleared from the shock. In an instant, her cheeks swelled up like proofed dough. Beside her, Li Wei was already prostrated on the ground, his head covered in a cold sweat. I hardly dared to breathe. Who are you? I looked at Lu Yanner and said softly. Lu Yanner gnashed her teeth and said, I don't care who you are. I am the daughter of the current 3rd-ranked Grand Minister of the Ministry of Personnel. If you let me go today, we'll leave it at that. If you humiliate me again, this day next year will be the anniversary of your death. I chuckled lightly. Ah, so you have powerful connections. If you have the guts, let me go. After 1 stick of incense burns, I will make you regret ever being born. Unbind her. Let her go call for help. I smiled faintly. I will wait for you right here. Bring everyone you can possibly summon here. You say you have powerful connections. But I have no one above me. Lu Yanner quickly turned and left, without even a glance at Li Wei beside her. After she disappeared, I viciously kicked Li Wei in the face. You useless thing. The great Prince Rui, acting like a dog in broad daylight. You have completely disgraced me. After 3 kicks, I stood up straight, feeling refreshed, and looked at Li Wei coldly. Now, tell me what you're thinking. If you can repent, you can still be my good brother. The bruised and swollen Li Wei cowered and glanced at me, whispering, Your Majesty, she's different. My eyes widened. Very good, my brother has fallen ill as well. Sentence him to death, you can die together. At that moment, at the street corner, the arrogant Lu Yanner clutched her face, accompanied by a finely dressed old man and a group of bare-chested, muscular men holding short clubs, who were striding quickly towards us. I raised an eyebrow. Interesting, he can even mobilize the Imperial Guard. This Lu Pao, the Grand Minister, is quite capable. By now, Kong Shi had also recognized who those men were. His face darkened. To think that Your Majesty's personal Imperial Guard can be commanded by a civil official. This traitor deserves to be executed. Lu Pao's eyes blazed with anger. This was his precious darling. How dare someone slap her? Courting death, Lu Pao had already drawn near. Looking at my tall figure in purple from behind, he snorted coldly, this old man would. He stammered for a long while, unable to finish his sentence. Because Kong Shi and I turned around to look at him at the same time. Lu Pao's face instantly turned deathly pale. His knees gave out, and he prostrated himself completely on the ground. Just 6 hours ago, he had met with me in the Golden Throne Hall. I waved my hand, and plainclothes Imperial guards swarmed forward. They hauled the trembling Lu Pao before me and also subdued all the bare-chested men. I looked down at him and said calmly, Did you know that Li Wei was acting as a servant in your manor? Speak, what were you trying to achieve by having Lu Yanner seduce Li Wei? Lu Pao said with a quavering voice, Your Majesty, please allow me to explain. This old servant only heard that Prince Jiwi has a gentle temperament and would be a good match, and that he is deeply in love with my daughter. Therefore, I wish to match my daughter with His Highness, Prince Rui. I swear I have no ulterior motives. But Lu Yanner's eyes widened in anger as she shouted, Dad! You really want me to marry that slave? He's useless in both literature and martial arts. He's like a dog, coming when called and leaving when dismissed. I'd rather die than marry him. I only want to marry brother Xie from the Xie family. Beside them, Li Hui's eyes looked vacant. Lu Yanner glared at him and snapped, What are you looking at? Take a good look at your own pathetic self. Are you even worthy of me? I was just toying with you, and you actually took it seriously? The light vanished from Li Hui's eyes. Lu Pao also lost all his strength and collapsed in the hands of the brocade-clad guard. Looking at the despairing Lu Yanner, I smiled. Very good, 2 more have fallen ill. Bestow upon them the gift of death, I said to Kong Shi, my face devoid of expression. Didn't she say she would die once she married Li Wei? Grant them death together. Li Wei and Kong Shi were stunned at the same time. Kong Shi hesitated, saying, Your Majesty, Lu Yanner has brought this upon herself. But His Highness, Prince Rui, is your younger brother. To sentence him to death so rashly, is it? I shook my head. I am perfectly clear-headed and rational. He is beyond saving. Only death will suffice. Otherwise, the entire imperial family, the great Yong dynasty, and even I myself will be shamed. Send them both on their way. Li Hui's face turned pale as he stammered, Imperial brother, I was wrong. Imperial brother, I swear I'll change. Seeing that I was unmoved, he gave up struggling and said in a low voice, Your Majesty. This servant and brother can die. But may I please beg Your Majesty to spare Yanner? She is young and ignorant. I hope Your Majesty will show mercy for my sake. I looked at my dear brother, my lips trembling. Good. How truly deep your affections run. When Kong Shi heard this, his face turned white. He no longer dared to let Li Wei alive. If a Prince Rui like this were allowed to live, who's to say he wouldn't trample all over Your Majesty's dignity for a woman one day? He hurried forward, took out a red pill, and stuffed it into his mouth to send him on his way quickly. He waited until Li Wei had completely stopped breathing. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. How wonderful, 2 more stubborn infections cleansed. I looked at the utterly broken Lu Pao. I said flatly, Kong Shi, draft a decree. Lu Yanner has shown no regard for the law. She has insulted the imperial family. Exterminate her 3 clans. Her family's assets are to be confiscated and absorbed into the national treasury. Lu Run's eyes instantly went blank as he collapsed to the ground. But the next moment, his eyes lit up. Your Majesty, this servant has a report to make. Lu Yanner is not this servant's daughter. She is the daughter of my childhood sweetheart. Her family fell on hard times, so she was fostered in my home. She has no living relatives. I was stunned. In other words, even if you exterminated 300 clans, it would have nothing to do with Lu Jian. So, the question is, she is an adopted daughter. Why would Lu Jian treat her so well, even risking his own life? Is he insane? Kong Zai's mouth was also half open. He gritted his teeth and said, Lord Lu, why are you so devoted to an adopted daughter? I seem to recall that your first wife is still alive, is she not? She even bore you a daughter. You don't care for your own wife and child, yet you dote on an adopted daughter? Are you even human? I was also shaken by these words. I wearily pinched the bridge of my nose. Gritting my teeth, I said, forget all that. Kong Shi, draft the decree. Lu Pao illegally mobilized the Imperial Guard. He is to be stripped of his position and beheaded. His wife and daughter are to be demoted to commoners and exiled to Ninguda. All the Imperial Guards who came here today are to be conscripted into the death squad. Upon hearing this, Lu Xuan knocked his head on the ground with tears in his eyes. Thank you for your magnanimity, Your Majesty. Unable to confiscate his family's assets, I shot a disappointed glare at Lu Pao. This old fool is truly sick, doting on a woman with no blood relation to this extent. If I didn't feel sorry for that mother and daughter, I wouldn't have left this old fool's family a single penny. The farce at the Chancellor's residence. I watched as Lu Pao was dragged away. The throbbing ache in my head finally eased a little, but after just a moment, it started hurting again. The Ministry of Personnel is a minor central hub of the court, and its chief minister has been executed. A suitable replacement must be promoted in a short amount of time, or the court's affairs will descend into chaos. But for the moment, I have no suitable candidate in mind. Let's head to the Prime Minister's residence. I sighed, I'll go ask Yang if he has a suitable candidate for Minister of Personnel. After we set off, I sighed in my carriage, why is every single day filled with these damn problems? Are they determined to annoy me to death? Outside the carriage, Kong Shi said with a smile, Your Majesty is troubled because these ministers neglect their duties and are utterly selfish. Unlike Your Majesty, who only has eyes for the great Yang and its people. I chuckled, praising me won't get you a raise. However, you go handle the exile of the Lu mother and daughter. How much you can get from them is a testament to your ability. But if I'm not mistaken, the Lu mother and daughter have no connection to Lu Pao's affairs. They were probably even mistreated by him. So, show some mercy. Don't drive those two pitiful women to their deaths. Kong Shi paused for a moment. He whispered, Your Majesty, should I secretly dispatch a squad to protect them? You decide, I said casually. Kong Shi nodded. He understood that I wanted the Lu mother and daughter to arrive at their destination safely. His Majesty is truly benevolent. Soon, they arrived at the Prime Minister's residence. Kong Shi went to the gatehouse and showed a token. The gatekeeper's face turned white with fear. He scrambled to open the main gate, stammering, This humble one didn't know of your esteemed arrival. Please, forgive me. Kong Shi pulled him up and said impatiently, That's enough. His Majesty is on an unannounced visit. He has matters to discuss with the Prime Minister. Lead the way. The steward looked somewhat hesitant. Kong Zai's friendly gaze suddenly turned sinister. Is it inconvenient for the Prime Minister's residence today? Or should I tell His Majesty to return another day? Cold sweat beaded on the steward's forehead. In a trembling voice, he said, No, I'll lead the way right now. Kong Shi gripped his shoulder and said coolly, Let's go. You're going to see Lord Yang directly. In all the 9 provinces and 24 prefectures of Great Yang. People have always waited for me. When have I ever been made to wait for others? Feeling the immense pressure on his shoulder, the steward forced a smile that looked worse than a sob and led the way. In the main hall of the Prime Minister's residence, a young man in tattered clothes was kneeling at the entrance. In the room were Prime Minister Yang Lian, his wives and concubines, and a sobbing, richly dressed young man, crying in the arms of the first-rank Lady Zaming. Yang Ji, what do you have to say for yourself? Yang Lian glared at the young man outside the door, his face filled with rage, and roared, As my legitimate eldest son, you should yield to your brothers. I only sent you to perform 2 years of hard labor to temper your character. Yang Ming went to visit you as your younger brother, and you actually dared to strike him? Do you still see me as your father? Do you still see Minger as your brother? The kneeling young man, Yang Ji, raised his head to look at Yang Lian and said bitterly, Father. In your eyes, do you even see me as your son? Have you ever once listened to my explanation? Yang Lian's face darkened. Explanation? All I see is you making excuses. It's clear you lack a proper upbringing from this house. You're nothing but a country brute. Get out of my sight. Go and receive 30 strokes of the family discipline. Beside him, Lady Zaming, Yan Xiao, said angrily with a cold expression. Can a mere 30 strokes make up for the injustice Minger has suffered? Make him do another 3 years of hard labor to temper his character. You are the Prime Minister's eldest son. If you don't understand etiquette and rules, what will outsiders think of our household? Look at yourself. Are you even half as sensible as Minger? If only you had half of Ming's talent, you wouldn't be in such a sorry state today. Yang Ji, gaunt and with withered hair, seemed to be from a different world than the splendidly dressed Yang Ming, whose hair was sleek and shiny. The gazes of the surrounding servants were also filled with indifference and contempt. No one looking at them would have ever thought they were brothers. Yang Ji's straight posture suddenly slumped, and he said in despair, "Father, mother. Are the family rules meant only for this child?" I wondered, watching the pale-faced steward from my hiding place. I asked doubtfully, "We remember that Yang Ming is your master's adopted son. Who is Yang Ji, and why is he treated so cruelly?" The steward replied in a trembling voice, "Young Master Ming was adopted from the master's third younger brother. Young Master Ji was stolen 20 years ago while still in swaddling clothes. He's the biological son who was only found 6 months ago." I was stunned. I pinched my temples and whispered, "You're saying Yang Ji is the biological son? He was stolen for 20 years, and now that he's back, instead of making amends, he's being mistreated? He's treated even worse than a servant in this mansion. Whose idea was this?" Anxious, Kangxi nudged the steward with his elbow. The steward stammered, "It was young Master Ming's suggestion to the madam. The madam and the master approved it, saying it was to temper his spirit and sharpen his mind." I nodded in sudden understanding. "Oh, so that's how it is. This whole family is sick in the head." The next moment, I strode out from behind the screen wall and called out, "Our Prime Minister. Seems you have quite a bit of free time." Hearing that voice, Yang Lian's face instantly turned ashen. Everyone in the main hall came tumbling out to kowtow. "Greetings, Your Majesty." As he was coming out, that Yang Ming actually shoved Yang Ji on purpose, causing him to collapse to the ground. A cold, sharp look entered Kangxi's eyes. To dare pull such a petty stunt right in front of His Majesty. This is the fine son our Prime Minister has raised. I paid them no mind, walking straight past Yang Lian to stand over Yang Ji, who lay on the ground, not daring to move. Kangxi brought over a grand chair, and I sat right down. Looking at the pale faces of the Prime Minister's household kneeling on the ground, I asked calmly, "Lord Yang, you are the Prime Minister of our great Yang, a paragon for all civil officials. We wish to ask, how is inheritance determined within the families of our great Yang? Answer us. A wrong answer means death. All of them must die." Yang Lian's face paled, his lips trembled, but he dared not speak. The great Yang dynasty was founded on Confucianism, which places the utmost importance on hierarchy. The reigning emperor himself only ascended to the great throne because his 3 elder brothers had all died of illness. His actions had clearly violated our greatest taboo. I said lightly, "Don't want to say? Or can't you? Or perhaps you dare not say? Then let us tell you. There is an order between the old and the young, a distinction between the primary and the secondary heir. You are the leader of all civil officials in the empire, yet you support a younger son while suppressing the eldest. Are you trying to tell the world that the imperial throne should also go to the most capable man? Your plans run deep, don't they, Lord Yang?" The moment I finished speaking, Yang Lian's eyes rolled back, and he fainted. I waved a hand. The brocaded robe guard immediately stepped forward, dragged him aside, helped him catch his breath, and fed him medicine. He is the current Prime Minister, after all. I had no intention of actually killing him. I turned to look at Yan Xiao, whose face was slick with sweat. I sighed and said, "The dignified wife of a first-rank official, mistreating her own son. Indulging an adopted son. Are you wearing those official robes just to show us that we were blind in bestowing your title upon you? If we are not mistaken, the jade pendant on that boy next to you is the one we personally gifted to the Prime Minister 3 years ago. Tell us, what right does he have to wear it?" Yan Xiao's face went deathly pale. At this moment, Yang Lian slowly regained consciousness. Hearing those words, he was so terrified that he scrambled over to me and pleaded earnestly, "Your Majesty, this old servant only allowed his young son to wear it out of indulgence, and it never left the manor. It's merely a misunderstanding between children. I hope Your Majesty will be magnanimous." I looked at the trembling Yang Ming and chuckled. "Misunderstanding? It seems to me you're quite adept at punishing Yang Ji. After court, you put on such a spectacle to handle family affairs. Have you tallied the losses from the floods in Jiangnan? Have you audited the military funds for the northern border? Have you made preparations for the imperial examinations? Do you have a candidate for the Minister of Personnel? I laughed in anger. So you've done not a single one of these things. Instead, you're here, painstakingly dealing with domestic chores. In your eyes, these trivial family matters are more important than the affairs of the state. Since you don't want the job, then get out. Young Lien said with a pained expression, Your Majesty, even an upright official finds it hard to settle domestic disputes. Hard to settle? Then don't settle them at all. I sneered, Kong Shi, draft an edict. Young Ming has shown disrespect before the throne. He has disrespected his elder brother. Sentence him to death. Upon hearing this, the trembling Young Ming fainted on the spot. The imperial guard placed a hemp rope around his neck. Yan Shao shrieked and lunged forward to stop them. Your Majesty, you mustn't. By acting this way, are you not afraid of condemnation from the world? Condemnation from the world? I laughed. The world doesn't condemn one who cannot distinguish right from wrong, who has no respect for seniority, but instead comes to condemn me. Lady Yan, don't be hasty. Your turn is next, I stated calmly. First-rank Zaming, Yan Shao, is unable to distinguish right from wrong. She fails to differentiate between the primary and secondary heir and acts with arrogance. She shows no respect for her sovereign. Sentence her to death. Shocked and enraged, Yan Shao screamed, Tyrant. You are a tyrant. History books will surely remember your atrocities. I am not in the habit of debating with the dead. The imperial guard had already skillfully placed a white silk ribbon around her neck. I turned my head to look at the restless young Lien. He met my perfectly calm gaze. If you plead, you will die too. His face turned pale, and he lowered his head in despair. I withdrew my gaze. Chancellor Yang, for failing to raise your son properly and for dereliction of duty, you are hereby fined 3 months' salary. Young Lien sighed in relief internally. Although his wife and beloved son were gone, at least his position as chancellor was secure. I looked at Yang Ji, who was lying prostrate on the side with tears streaming down his face, and my temples throbbed with anger. Stand up. Are all the officials in the capital magistrate's office dead? You have hands and feet, yet you don't beat the grievance drum or report to the authorities. All you know is how to kneel. Do you have any integrity of a man of the great Yang left? With red eyes, Yang Ji knelt to the ground and said loudly, This commoner knows his mistake. From now on, I will focus on my studies in martial arts, in hopes of serving your majesty to the death. Do not want your life, I said coldly. If you have time for that, do something more tangible for the great Yang. Before leaving, I said without turning my head, find the people who kidnapped Yang Ji all those years ago. Exterminate their 9 generations. All those involved in his trafficking shall have their 3 clans annihilated. Yang Ji, if one day we meet in the Golden Throne Hall, I hope you can ensure the people of this world suffer less of this kind of hardship. Behind me, tears streamed down Yang Ji's face. This commoner will heed your majesty's teachings and never forget them for all eternity. His frame was still gaunt, but his eyes were now as bright as the blazing sun. After leaving the chancellor's manor, Kong Shi quietly reminded me about the candidate for Minister of Personnel. I shook my head and sighed, let's return to the palace first. This day has thoroughly frustrated me. What kind of people are they? Returning to the imperial study and seeing the mountain of memorials, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Only work, watching the great Yang grow stronger, bit by bit, is the life I desire. Anyone who dares to obstruct my work must die. If you won't let me see a glorious age, then I will make you see rivers of blood. Taking a concubine, morning court, 3 days later. It's been 3 days since Lu Pao was executed, and this group still hasn't reacted. I looked at the assembled ministers expectantly and spoke first. My dear ministers, do you have any objections to Lu Jian's crimes? The entire court cried out, Your Majesty is wise and brilliant. We have no objections. In their hearts, the officials were scornful. Who doesn't know that you, the emperor, are ruthless and cruel? Meddling with the imperial guard is your untouchable line. Asking now if there are objections, isn't that just obviously baiting a trap? Does he take us for fools? They remembered clearly, back when I was still the crown prince, the selection of concubines sparked a rebellion in the Shu region. With only 800 men, I carved a path through tens of thousands of rebels, turning rebels into subjects to forever secure the heavenly prefecture. Who would dare to challenge the blade of this iron-fisted emperor? Seeing that no one made a sound, I clicked my tongue in disappointment. Let's discuss matters of state. Only then did the officials breathe a sigh of relief. After the court session ended, Grand Tutor Zhou Yan stepped forward and said in a low voice, Your Majesty, now that the realm is at peace, is it not time to consider an imperial heir? As soon as he spoke, the other officials wrung their hands in frustration. Damn it, that old fox beat us to it. To send one's daughter into the harem of an emperor destined to be renowned in history. That would be a meteoric rise to power. A surefire way to be recorded in the annals of history. I thought about it and realized it was indeed necessary. With an imperial heir, the ministers would have something to rally behind. Then let the concubine selection be held next spring, I said decisively. But it must not be a burden on the people or a waste of resources. I want to see where every single coin is spent. I have no desire to repeat the mistakes of the former emperor. The officials, with solemn expressions, responded in unison, "Yes, Your Majesty." This indicated that not a single penny could be misappropriated for this matter. To touch it meant death. Court was dismissed. In the imperial study, I focused single-mindedly on reviewing the memorials. These 3 fulfilling days made me feel a bit brighter myself. Suddenly, a wave of an unfamiliar fragrance drifted by, and a cup of hot tea appeared at my hand. Without looking up, I said, "Did Kang Shi send you?" "Go back and report to him first. Just follow his arrangements." The girl, breathing rapidly, excused herself and left. In the side hall, Kang Shi cheerfully cupped his hands in a salute to the young woman. "Congratulations, Lady Shui. From now on, you will be accompanying His Majesty often." Shui Ning, blushing, stuffed a heavy little pouch into Kang Zai's hands, seeking his guidance. Kang Shi quickly pushed it back. "I have already received my gift and done my part. I cannot accept this." Kang Shi knew full well that he was the emperor's man. There was a limit to the money he could skim. He had always walked on thin ice. One wrong step, and he would be damned for all eternity. Kang Shi said in a serious tone, "Lady Shui, what His Majesty detests most is people trying to cater to his preferences. The only hint I can give you is this: just do your own thing. Do not try to please anyone, not even His Majesty." Shui Ning was completely bewildered. This was something Kang Shi had figured out on his own. The reason those 2 concubines who have been with me for 10 years are favored is precisely because they don't care about imperial power or status. They do not fawn over power. As night fell, I had just undressed and gotten into bed when I felt a source of warmth beside me. Model. In the darkness, a pair of large, expectant yet timid eyes watched me from under the covers. I met Shui Ning's gaze and smiled softly. "Attend to me now." Kang Shi beckoned. The surrounding palace attendants withdrew from the bedchamber in silence. Are they even human? The next morning, I rose and got out of bed on time. Palace attendant came forward and gently carried the still sleeping Shui Ning to a side hall. Kang Shi skillfully came forward to help me put on my court robes. At the same time, he said in a low voice, "Your Majesty, the person who abducted Yang Ji has been caught." "Oh, who was it?" I asked curiously. Not many people can freely enter and exit the Prime Minister's residence. Kang Shi sighed and said, "It was the Yan family, the family of Lord Yang's wife. Members of the Yang family's 3rd branch also helped. Furthermore, an old affair was uncovered. Years ago, Yan Shao had a lover. It was someone from the Yang family's 3rd branch. Yang Ming is that man's child. The 2 of them secretly conspired, with the Yan family helping. They sent their biological son, Yang Ji, out of the Prime Minister's residence so that the illegitimate son, Yang Ming, could inherit everything from Lord Yang." I was dumbfounded. So, Yang Lian was simply cuckolded? And he helped raise another man's son for 20 years. This Yan Shao's methods are truly brilliant. To think that for so many years, not a single clue was discovered. Is she even human? But she deserved far worse than death, Kang Shi said flatteringly. "Your Majesty is wise. However, because of this, Lord Yang has now openly and completely broken with the Yan family. The highest-ranking member of the Yan family is Yan Shen, the Vice Minister of Rights, but their roots in Jiangnan run deep." Upon hearing this, my gaze sharpened. I understood Kang Zai's hint. To act according to the imperial edict would surely cripple the Yan family. But for a local gentry family, to dare plot against the current prime minister, and even attempt to usurp his position, their audacity is far too great. I thought for a moment and said calmly, "Kang Shi, go and pass on my message. Today's morning court is cancelled. Summon the prime minister, the 3 ducal ministers, and the heads of the 6 ministries to the imperial study. I will go to Jiangnan." Kang Zai's expression turned grim. "Your Majesty, are you preparing to deal with the Yan family personally?" Inside the imperial study, when the senior officials heard my plan, their faces changed in shock. Important matters are discussed in small councils. Compared to the floods in Jiangnan, it was clear that my southern tour was more urgent. Summoning them was, of course, to have them assist in governing while I was away, but this would inevitably be an incognito trip. If I were to pass through the territories of their own clans along the way, and someone was foolish enough to cause trouble. A cold sweat broke out on the foreheads of Daeong's key officials. At the same time, their gazes fell upon the Grand Tutor, Zhou Yan. Your Majesty was your student. You must try to persuade him. Feeling the eyes of his colleagues on him, Zhou Yan quickly said, Your Majesty, are you planning to travel incognito? I nodded. Indeed, that Yan family in Jiangnan dared to plot against the current Prime Minister. The connections must run deep. I want to see for myself what gives the Yan family such confidence. And while I'm at it, I'll see why the floods in Jiangnan have persisted for half a year. Upon hearing this, everyone present breathed a sigh of relief. As long as I was going to deal with the Yan family, there would be no trouble as long as they stayed out of the line of fire. For the next few days, you will all remain here in the imperial study. All court matters are to be handled by your respective departments. For any unresolved issues, have Kong Nian present them once every 3 days. After giving my instructions, I, dressed in a simple commoner's blue robe, left the imperial study and set off immediately with a troop of the imperial guard. On a modest little boat, I stood at the bow, looking at the distant scenery with a spyglass. Dozens of burly men dressed as fishermen pulled bamboo rafts, escorting us. As we were traveling, a commotion suddenly erupted ahead. I raised my spyglass and saw a bare-shouldered young woman was arguing indignantly with a Jin Yi Wei disguised as a fisherman, while a young gentleman in blue robes lectured him with a stern face from behind. I murmured, the new top scholar, Lin Yunxiao. He's the top scholar my imperial father appointed last year. Let's take the boat over and have a look, I said without turning my head, as Kangxi also leaned in to see. His expression shifted slightly. Didn't I just arrange his marriage to Zhou Pinjing, the Grand Tutor's daughter? Then who is this woman? The accused Jin Yi Wei saw my boat approaching out of the corner of his eye. His face immediately darkened. He threw down a money pouch and prepared to row away, but the fisherwoman leapt onto his bamboo raft, refusing to let him go, saying, I don't care about that. You touched the body of the Grand Tutor's daughter, and I don't care. You touched the body of the Grand Tutor's daughter. Even if you were trying to save her, you still have to take responsibility. Hearing this, I frowned. So this also involved Zhou Pinjing. The Jin Yi Wei, exasperated, snapped, I have urgent business today and have no desire to get entangled with you. Besides, that pouch contains a full 10 taels, more than enough to buy a new boat for you. If you continue to cause trouble, don't blame me for getting rough. By now, my boat had arrived behind them. I asked calmly, what is going on? Hearing my voice, the Jin Yi Wei's heart sank. He turned, bowed, and said in a low voice, Young master. Someone fell into the water earlier. In the emergency, your subordinate took the liberty to pull her out and check her identity. I didn't realize it was the Grand Tutor's daughter, and now these two are insisting that your subordinate must take responsibility. The top scholar seems to be ill. Let's grant him death. I was utterly baffled. I looked questioningly at Lin Yunxiao and the fisherwoman. You saved someone, yet these two are demanding you take responsibility? What is your relation to her? Lin Yunxiao bowed politely. He said in a gentle voice, Greetings, young master. I am that young lady's fiancé. As the saying goes, a woman must be virtuous for her husband. Your subordinate made physical contact with Zhou Pinjing. Her reputation is now ruined, and it would naturally be improper for her to marry me. However, we cannot simply ignore the matter. That is why we wish for your subordinate to take responsibility. After hearing this, I turned to Kangxi, my eyes filled with disbelief and confusion. This is the top scholar I appointed? Kangxi gave a stiff nod. This is absolutely absurd. Is the top scholar openly conspiring with an outsider to ruin his own fiancé? But she ended up being rescued, and now he wants an outsider to take responsibility? And this was a marriage I, the emperor, personally decreed. Where is Zhou Pinjing? I looked at the Jin Yi Wei. He pointed to a patch of reeds nearby. Your subordinate has temporarily placed her there. Bring her here. The Jin Yi Wei shot a furious glare at Lin Yunxiao and pulled his boat away with a miserable look on his face. He had figured it out by now. He'd been set up by this wretched couple. Recalling the look in my eyes, he suddenly gave the two of them a pitying glance. It seemed they wouldn't have to wait for His Majesty's return from his southern tour. Not long after, Zhou Pinjing, soaking wet and draped in a fisherman's outer robe, was brought over by the now bare-chested Jin Yi Wei. I waved my hand, and Kangxi quickly took out a large cloak, draping it over Zhou Pinjing. At that moment, Lin Yunxiao spoke up again. With a look of regret, he sighed, Pinjing, look at the way you're behaving now. Being so intimate with a common fisherman. How can you possibly marry into my Lin family? How about this? I have a compromise. If you are willing to be my concubine, I will overlook this indiscretion and accept you into my home, model. I didn't look at Lin Yunxiao. I have no interest in speaking to a dead man. I lowered my head and asked gently, Miss Zhou, what are your thoughts on this matter? Hearing this familiar voice, Zhou Pinjing snapped her head up. Seeing her former classmate before her, her eyes turned red. Just as she was about to speak, she saw Kong Shi frantically signaling to her with his eyes. Realizing her mistake, she lowered her voice and said, This humble servant begs you, my lord, to uphold justice. I nodded. I looked at Lin Yunxiao. You, the top scholar, you're sick in the head too, aren't you? Then you can die. Kong Shi, draft the imperial edict. As soon as the word, edict, was spoken, Lin Yunxiao's face instantly turned ashen. That vaguely familiar face suddenly came into sharp focus. This is His Majesty, the current emperor. The new top scholar, Lin Yunxiao, is of immoral character and reckless in his actions. He has defied an imperial decree and conspired with an outsider to harm his own fiancée. He is hereby sentenced to death. For 3 generations, his family is forbidden from holding public office. He is to be stripped of his title as top scholar. You will escort him to the Ministry of Punishments to face his sentence. At the same time, escort Miss Zhou back to the capital, I said, pointing to a bare-chested Jin Yi Wei guard. The guard pointed at his own nose in disbelief. Me, his superior officer, understanding my intention, was so envious his eyes turned red. He gave the guard a sharp kick and hissed, Accept the order, you fool. His Majesty is giving you an opportunity. The Grand Tutor's daughter, if you too make it, I'll have to bow and call you, sir, from now on. The guard's eyes lit up. This subordinate accepts the order. Just then, the pretty fisher girl spread her arms to block their path, shouting, Who are you people? How dare you be so insolent? Do you have any idea who he is? I glanced at the girl and stated flatly, An accomplice shares the same guilt. Sentence her to death. I suspect this foolish plan was her idea. Another pair of fools whose stupidity is written all over their faces. Not only do they lack guts and a sense of duty, but they also want to have it both ways. They deliberately let Zhou Pinjing fall into the water, didn't they? All to humiliate her into becoming a mere concubine. Also he could use the Grand Tutor to climb to a higher position? Scum like this pollutes our very sight. Like tigers unleashed, the Jin Yi Wei bound them together. After that wretched pair was dragged away, I looked at Zhou Pinjing and sighed. Now that you see the truth, do you still intend for the engagement to stand? Zhou Pinjing's eyes lit up, and she asked excitedly, Is that really an option, Your Majesty? Can I still be Yunxiao's principal wife? He was just confused for a moment. He didn't do anything truly wrong. I froze. I turned to Kong Shi beside me. Did we just hear that correctly? With a wooden expression, Kong Shi said numbly, Your Majesty, it seems Miss Zhou intends to honor the engagement. I drew in a sharp breath, staring at Zhou Pinjing in disbelief. You're sick in the head too. I hereby decree. Never mind. I pinched the bridge of my nose. I couldn't bring myself to execute the Grand Tutor's only daughter. A marriage is decreed. Within 3 days, you will marry the Jin Yi Wei guard who saved you. Perhaps after the wedding, you'll come to your senses. If you continue this nonsense, you can go join a nunnery. Zhou Pinjing choked back a sob. Your Majesty, you can't force me to do this. You, sobbing Kong Shi, sweating bullets, clapped a hand over her mouth. Terrified she would utter another treasonous word, he took the chance to force a secret sedative into her mouth. Once Zhou Pinjing fainted, I said, my face etched with impatience, have that Jin Yi Wei guard take her home. She is not to leave the house for 100 days. Tell the Grand Tutor he may visit her. But from this day forward, that woman is forbidden from ever setting foot in the Grand Tutor's residence again. We will not have such a fool bring harm to our Grand Tutor. The daughter of the Grand Tutor, becoming a concubine? The greatest joke in the world. After we set off again, my jaw wouldn't stop working. I'm starting to question my very existence. How can there be so many fools within my great Yang dynasty? I can't take it anymore. I'll make heads roll. At the wedding, a travesty of a ceremony, was Shui Ning, dressed as a handmaiden. She quietly came forward and placed a cup of fresh tea in my hand. She said softly, Sir, why trouble yourself over people like this? In my view, that Lin Yunxiao is a block of wood. The young lady of the Zhou family is exceptional in both character and appearance. Yet for a fisherman's daughter, he wants to take such a favored daughter of heaven as a concubine. A man like that isn't worth mourning if he dies. I sneered, he isn't worth mourning. But in my opinion, Zhou Pinjing isn't worth mourning either. If old Grand Tutor Zhou ended up with a piece of work like her in his later years, his lifetime of good reputation would be impossible to maintain. For this daughter of his, he never even remarried his entire life. And this is how she repays her father? Sir, Shui Ning said softly, all the affairs of the nation depend on your hard work and toil, sir. Aren't you tired, sir? I listened to the half-feigned concern in her voice. Shaking my head, I said softly, I find joy in it. But I don't usually discuss these things with people. Shui Ning's pretty face paled, and she quickly lowered her head. Then, taking the hint, she stood behind me. Her small hands kneaded my shoulders. Then, taking the hint, she stood behind me. Her small hands kneaded my shoulders. And in a corner where I couldn't see, the girl picked up a small brush and paper and quickly wrote 2 lines in tiny, neat script. Do not discuss state affairs. Do not discuss the court officials. In just a few short days, similar notes had already filled nearly an entire page. Along the way, Shui Ning was like a little songbird, singing all sorts of grand court music and famous fishing folk songs at a moment's notice. Listening to her, I couldn't help but become entranced. Seeing this, Shui Ning carefully observed my reaction, a sharp glint flashing in her eyes. She once again secretly jotted down, enjoys listening to folk songs. Dislikes court banquet music. Kang Shi saw this and praised her silently. With such dedication, Miss Shui will succeed in anything she does. After sailing for 3 consecutive days, I was also feeling a bit tired. So I told Kang Shi to pull ashore at the nearest place to rest. Stepping onto solid ground, I looked at the bustling pier before me, with people and goods coming and going. I felt a sense of relief. This is all my kingdom, after all. Suddenly, the clamor of the bustling pier brought me back to my senses. A plainclothes Jinyue guard whispered something to Kang Shi, after which Kang Shi hurried over and said quietly, Sir. It seems the magistrate of Jiyu County, Shenin, is taking a co-primary wife. As soon as those 2 words were spoken, my expression turned cold. My great Yang has always had a system of 1 husband, 1 wife. Since when did this concept of a co-primary wife exist? As the magistrate of Jiyu County, instead of setting a proper example, he commits such a flagrant transgression. How interesting. Let's go have a look. Hearing my emotionless voice, Kang Shi sighed inwardly. This Shenin is probably out of luck. His Majesty's own mother was tricked into the palace by the late emperor with the promise of the empress's position. She thought she would be safe as the primary wife, but what can be granted one day can be taken away the next. Even a primary wife is no different. What can be granted one day can be taken away the next. Even a primary wife is no different. People were coming and going inside the Shen residence. Everyone was beaming with joy. We just took the opportunity to take our seats. An expressionless, beautiful woman walked towards me and gave me a curtsy. Greetings, young master. I am of the Shen family. I heard from the servants that a gentleman of extraordinary bearing had come to the feast, so I came especially to greet you. I looked at the person before me and frowned. Shen, you are Shenan's wife? I am. The woman nodded slightly. I gave the woman a deep look and said gently, thank you for your trouble. As the 3 of us had just sat down, Kang Shi said with a somber look, Your Majesty. This Madame Shen seems to be from 5 years ago. I know. I picked up my teacup and said calmly, she is a descendant of one of the 177 imperial guards who died with me in the Shu lands 5 years ago. At the time, I ordered 177 peace pendants to be made to commemorate their contribution to bringing peace to the world. The peace pendant she wears at her waist is one I personally gave to them back then. Faintly, I thought I heard some noise from the rear courtyard. After a moment's thought, I signaled to Kang Shi, and we headed straight for the rear courtyard under the pretext of using the lavatory. Inside the rear courtyard, a hoarse, elderly voice said, Shenin, so all these years you've been opposing your mother. Is it because you think I was the one who drove Lin Qingyue away? Am I wrong? Shenin said calmly, if you hadn't forced me to marry Shu Ru, would Qingyue and I have had to wait until today to have our wishes fulfilled? Old Madame Shen seemed infuriated. She then looked at Shu Ru and said coldly, you are the mistress of the Shen household. How can you let your husband handle the matter of taking a concubine himself? How can you manage the household like this? Shu Ru, long accustomed to being scolded, said calmly, Old Madam, Master Shen has already given the authority to manage the household to Lin Qingyue. You are aware of this. I, the official wife, have only the title. Besides, in the 5 years we've been married, when have you ever seen my husband stay the night in this residence? As for today's events, I naturally consent to them. Old Madame Shen fell silent. She sighed, I hope none of you will regret this, and, supported by a maid, shakily returned to her quarters. Shu Ru also got up and walked towards the door. She took out a sachet with a delicate pattern and handed it to the maid. The old madam suffers from insomnia. This is a calming incense I made. When I am not here, remember to hang it by the old madam's bed." Shenin, dressed in his wedding attire, chased her out the door with a stern face and asked, "Shu Ru, make yourself clear. Are you going back to the Shu family? But there's no one left in your family. If you go back, how will you take care of yourself? I've just married Qingyue, and you're already leaving the manor. How is Qingyue supposed to feel about this? As long as you don't cause trouble for Qingyue in the future. This home is naturally yours as well. Although we haven't consummated our marriage, as long as you behave, we will have children in the future. You won't have to worry about being alone in your old age." From the shadows, I listened, my eyes trembling with shock. Shui Ning also had a look of contempt. She whispered, "Young master, how can this be called a wedding at the Shen Manor? This is more like a fool's ceremony, isn't it? If this man hadn't lost his mind, how could he say such things? They all deserve to die." I watched the two of them as one chased the other into the distance, taking a deep breath to slowly suppress the killing intent in my heart. I sighed, to think I let such a man become a county magistrate. I must have been out of my mind. I handed a token to Kong Shi and said softly, "Go and summon a detachment of guards. Surround this Shen Manor for me." Kong Shi left with a cold expression. Shui Ning whispered, "Young master, today is a joyous occasion for the Shen family. Should we?" I gave a scornful laugh. I whispered, "If I let him have his joyous occasion, what about the 100? The blood of the 77 heroes was shed for nothing. The blood of the 77 heroes was shed for nothing. He's only a magistrate because I once issued a decree. All relatives of those holding the typing pendant shall receive special treatment in all court matters. Now, he tramples on the sacrifice of Shu Ru's father and brother, and in doing so, he tramples on my life's work." Back at the banquet, everyone was still drinking and celebrating. But I had lost my appetite. Soon, the auspicious time arrived. I saw Shu Ru sitting in a corner, her eyes lifeless, and a murderous rage began to boil inside me. The husband and wife bowed to each other. The ceremony is complete. Listening to the master of ceremonies' loud announcement, Kong Shi returned to report, handing me the military tally he had retrieved. I stood up and walked into the main hall under the puzzled gazes of all the guests. Looking at the two of them leaning against each other, I said softly, "Magistrate Shen. I wasn't aware that our great Yang dynasty had a custom of having both a principal wife and an equal wife." Shenin frowned and said, "Who are you? In what capacity are you questioning me? I have served diligently, working from dawn to dusk. I am merely taking an equal wife. What crime is there in that?" I chuckled softly. "My great Yang has a system of one husband, one wife. Or does the law of our nation not apply in Gu County?" Shenan's face turned pale. He shouted angrily, "Guards! Seize this madman who dares to criticize a court official." For a long moment, no one stepped forward. Shenan's expression changed. He said harshly, "Who are you? How dare you slander a court official? Are you trying to rebel?" I didn't look at him, but turned my head to look at Shu Ru. "Miss Shu, are you happy marrying a man like this?" Hearing this, Shenan whipped his head around to face Shu Ru and roared, "Shu Ru! I never knew you were this kind of person. He's your lover, isn't he? Causing a scene on my wedding day. No wonder you were so quiet today, not saying a single word. So you were waiting for this moment to ambush me." I frowned. The next moment, like an arrow released from its bow, Kong Shi rushed in front of Shenan. With 3 slaps from his large, fan-like hand, he sent Shenan sprawling to the ground. In an instant, Shenan was sitting on the floor, holding his face, a look of pure bewilderment in his eyes. Kong Shi said coldly, "Does a man like you have any right to interrupt my master when he speaks? Are you tired of living?" His voice was shrill but not loud, yet it instantly silenced everyone present, as if they were cicadas in winter. That kind of voice could only belong to one type of person, a eunuch. And for such a person to address someone as master, he would have to be, at the very least, a prince. I looked at Shu Ru and said softly, "If you had the chance, would you be willing to divorce this man?" A light flickered in Shu Ru's eyes before dimming again. "Thank you for your kindness, my lord. The letter of divorce requires his personal signature, but he is the magistrate. He will never grant it." At that moment, Shenan came to his senses and gritted his teeth. "Shu Ru, divorce? In your dreams, as long as I'm alive, you can forget about ever being with this man." The equal wife beside him, Lin Qingyue, snorted coldly. "That's right, you are still a wife of the Shen family, yet you conspire with another man. You have already violated the 7 grounds for divorce." Before Lin Qingyue could finish, she was cut off. Kong Shi sent her flying back 3 steps with a single kick that doubled her over. She landed beside Shu Ru. "Do you have any right to speak here?" Kong Shi said coldly. I paid no attention to the farce these two were creating. I said firmly, Miss Shu, I am only asking if you want this or not. A look of hope welled up in Shu Ru's eyes. I, your humble servant, have wanted nothing else, every moment of every day. I nodded. Very well. From this moment on, he is no longer the magistrate. Shenin sneered, I am an official personally appointed by the imperial court. How could a mere prince like you dare to touch me? Act so recklessly is treason. I glanced at him and said coolly, Kong Shi, draft the decree. Shenin, the magistrate of Jiyu County, has brought harm to the descendant of a loyal official. He is sentenced to death. The woman of the Lin family, Qingyue, having grown arrogant from special favor and bullied the primary wife, is sentenced to death. The woman of the Lin family, Qingyue, having grown arrogant from special favor and bullied the primary wife, is sentenced to death. Old Madame Shen is to be exiled 100 li. The Shen family's fortune shall be confiscated for the state treasury. After I finished, I looked at Shu Ru, whose eyes were trembling. Are you satisfied with this judgment? Shu Ru, her eyes red, fell to her knees. I, Shu Ru, thank your majesty for this grace. From this day forward, there is no longer a wife of the Shen family in this world. There is only the daughter of the Shu family. I stepped forward to help her up. I pointed to the typing pendant at her waist and said softly, he only became a magistrate because of your family's influence. He did not just humiliate you, he humiliated my life's work. In the future, when you marry, you must keep your eyes open. At the side, Shenin howled in terror, Your Majesty, I've been wronged. Ruer, please, plead with His Majesty. I'll divorce Qingyue right this instant. For the rest of my life, it will only be you. Save me. I looked at Shu Ru, who stood silent with her head down. If you plead for him, then I will have no choice but to send you both to the underworld to be a pair of ill-fated lovers. Fortunately, my kingdom can still be saved. Without raising her head, Shu Ru said, Your Majesty's words are law. I have already divorced young Master Shen. He will have to look out for himself now. Hearing this, the coldness in my eyes vanished, and I smiled without a word. I thought for a moment she was going to be another Zhou Pinjing 2.0. Luckily, she isn't. Luckily, my kingdom can still be saved. Seeing that the matter was resolved, I turned to leave. A squad of the brocade-clad guards entered in single file. Kong Shi smiled coldly. Send them on their way. The surrounding guests were so frightened they dared not even lift their heads. Only after we departed did they scatter like startled birds. On the way back, Kong Shi saw Shui Ning write down another small note. Most hates those who are disloyal and unfaithful. Values the descendants of loyal officials. Kong Shi secretly gave a thumbs up. After this farce was dealt with, the small boat departed immediately. Soon after, Kong Nian sent a man to deliver the state affairs that had piled up in the imperial study. Shui Ning gently loosened my shoulders. Suddenly, she must have felt my body tense up. I slammed the memorial down on the desk and snapped, this is absurd. During the Jiangnan floods, Han Ji, the magistrate of Yangtze County, passed his own home 7 times. Yet he didn't save his own 7-year-old daughter. Instead, he rescued all of his neighbors' chickens, ducks, pigs, and dogs. She was only saved by sheer luck when a passing refugee saw the poor girl hanging from a tree branch. And this bunch of useless fools actually says this man has the virtue of Yu the Great. They even want me to give him a grand reward. My breathing grew heavy. I'd love nothing more than to execute these sick bastards. He saves livestock instead of his own daughter. If you ask me, he's the uncivilized animal. My great Yang dynasty is doomed. I slowly suppressed my anger and opened the next memorial. My eyes instantly widened. Ningning, go get me a cup of cooling tea. Quickly, I gritted my teeth. The 9th princess, my own sister, has been married for less than 6 months and now says she doesn't love her husband anymore. She wants to make a stable boy her prince consort. Is she even thinking straight? I want to open up my sister's head to see if her brain is still inside. I feel like I'm about to explode. No wonder the imperial study can't handle these ridiculous messes. It turns out it's not them being disrespectful. It must be because I committed too many sins in my past life to have become the ruler of this country. I downed my cooling tea. I opened the 3rd memorial, and after just one glance, I flipped the small table in the cabin. With a darkened face, I roared at Kong Shi outside the cabin, speed up. I must reach Jiangnan within 5 days. Shui Ning began to tidy up the memorials scattered all over the boat. She accidentally saw the contents of one, and her scalp went numb. His Highness Prince Liang's new wife ran away from the marriage to elope with the hunter. To get his wife back, the prince chose to challenge the hunter to an archery contest, during which he fell from his horse and broke his leg. I was so furious my vision went dark. How can the entire country be filled with such freaks? Have I violated some heavenly decree? I thought for a long time. I wrote furiously. A letter bearing my private seal was sent to the imperial study in the capital. 3 days later, Grand Tutor Zhou Yan saw the word, "kill," on the letter, radiating with murderous intent. His old face trembled slightly. What do you all make of His Majesty's intention? The others hesitated, worried it would affect their reputations. Young Lien made the final decision, leave the Jiangnan County Magistrate, Han Ji, for His Majesty to handle personally. As for the rest, execute them as His Majesty wishes. The next moment, Kong Nian burst into the imperial study, drenched in sweat. My lords, His Majesty's 14th brother, who was made a prince before he came of age, suddenly began spouting nonsense on the street, saying that the feudal autocracy is backwards. That the emperor is the person in the world who most deserves to be killed, and that in an era of great governance, the people should be the priority. He even had these ideas printed in books and distributed them. Zhou Yan's face went pale as he roared, "Why haven't you arrested him immediately?" Young Lien couldn't sit still either, saying urgently, "Immediately summon the imperial guard into the capital and search for those books door to door. Kong Nian, you go and catch up to His Majesty yourself. It would be best to ask His Majesty to return to the capital first." The new Minister of Personnel said with conflicted feelings, "But wouldn't that make us seem incompetent?" Young Lien helplessly pinched the bridge of his nose. Haven't you all realized? When His Majesty was in the capital, everything was peaceful and quiet. But the moment he left, all hell broke loose. Silence fell in the imperial study. Just how many demons and monsters has His Majesty been keeping at bay? So, how should the 14th prince be dealt with? The Minister of Rights, Zheng Ju, said with a troubled look, "Logically, for such traitorous words, the punishment should be execution. But he is His Majesty's own kin, of royal blood. If we don't come to a decision first, I'm afraid His Majesty will be put in a difficult position as well." Young Lien and the 3 Grand Ministers exchanged a look, their eyes filled with helplessness. This is His Majesty's private matter, yet it has become entangled with affairs of state. This whole situation is a mess. Young Lien thought for a moment and said, "We do indeed need to come up with a formal plan. I suspect that His Majesty will not return until the matter in Jiangnan is resolved. Place the 14th prince under house arrest for now. Also, send a message to Shui Jiao. Once the Imperial Guard is in the capital, have them station themselves in every corner and coordinate with the brocade-clad guard to strictly prevent any rumors from spreading." The group of old ministers nodded in agreement. Meanwhile, on the calm river, I was sitting in a lounge chair on the bow, enjoying the breeze. I have absolutely no desire to look at those memorials anymore. They're all just things that make my blood pressure skyrocket. But thankfully, there haven't been any new problems in the last few days. That's put my mind at ease quite a bit. Suddenly, Kong Shi leaned in and whispered, "My lord, someone has arrived from the capital." Hearing that, my vision darkened. What must come, will come. Then, I said listlessly, "Let him come over. I'm curious to see what other ridiculousness can possibly pop up." A bamboo raft approached swiftly. Before the raft had even come to a complete stop, a figure frantically leapt onto my boat. Kong Shi grabbed hold of Kong Nian, who was running right behind him. He said angrily, "How reckless. Why aren't you in the imperial study serving the ministers? What are you doing running all the way out here?" Kong Nian, drenched in sweat, said, "Your Majesty, something terrible has happened." Without even turning my head, I calmly said, "Don't panic. I haven't passed away yet. The sky isn't going to fall. Speak, what new trouble is brewing in the capital?" Kong Nian rushed to my ear and whispered. At first, my body tensed up as I listened. After a moment, I slowly lay back down. I said leisurely, "It's fine. Nothing to worry about. My 14th brother's body has likely been taken over. He's just a transmigrator, nothing more. Nothing to be afraid of. You are to return to the capital now. Send a message to Lai Kang. Tell him to confine the 14th prince in the study of my old crown prince's residence. Let him have a look at my collection of books. Then have Lai Kang tell him this. If he possesses knowledge that is not found in this study, he will remain the 14th prince of the Great Yang. If not, then he is a demon who has usurped the body of an imperial heir. He is to be executed." Seeing my calm expression, Kong Nian instantly breathed a sigh of relief. This subordinate understands. I will see to it at once. Meanwhile, in the capital, at the imperial clan court, Li Jing paced anxiously in his small courtyard. To think that I'd actually transmigrate and become the 14th prince of the Great Yang. Good thing I learned about this dynasty's history beforehand. This dynasty is a bit like the late Ming. Having this identity will certainly make things convenient from now on. I just wonder how my third brother, the Emperor, plans to deal with me. It would be best if he banished me from the capital. or even strip me of my royal status. That way, I could act without any inhibitions. Li Jing was very confident, not thinking for a second that I would kill him. Because killing him would be considered fratricide, which is damaging to one's reputation. No matter the outcome, he felt the advantage was his. As long as he got a chance, the knowledge in his mind would be like a wildfire spreading across the prairie. He couldn't help but fantasize about how he would deal with me, his emperor brother, in the future. Should he send me to a labor camp? Or perhaps to the Wagongchang armory to assemble firearms? As he reveled in the thought, Li Jing couldn't help but laugh out loud. The next moment, his vision suddenly went black as a thick, opaque cloth bag was thrown over his head. His limbs were instantly clamped down and bound. After a whiff of a strange fragrance, he lost consciousness. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself sitting in a tall and spacious study. Across from him stood a burly man clad in armor. The man chuckled, "Your Highness, the 14th Prince. I am Lai Kang. By His Majesty's decree, I have brought you here. Do you see all these books in the room? His Majesty said that if your Highness possesses knowledge that is not in this room, you will remain the 14th Prince. If not," Lai Kang flashed a vicious smile, staring at the pale-faced Li Jing and whispered, "Then I'm afraid I'll have to trouble you, our dear transmigrator, to accompany me on a trip to the Brocade Guard's prison." As soon as he spoke, Li Jing's face turned deathly white. He stammered, I don't understand what you mean." Lai Kang shook his head, smiling sweetly. "You don't need to understand. Because this officer doesn't understand either. His Majesty simply said you have usurped the 14th Prince's body. If you cannot prove otherwise, you are to be executed." A chill ran down Li Jing's spine, his heart filled with dread and terror. What does he mean? He knows I'm a transmigrator? He even knows I have knowledge from a future era? Looking at the dozen or so packed bookshelves, Li Jing was on the verge of tears. Which damn idiot transmigrated before me and got caught by the Emperor? And was completely drained of everything. Can the little bit of knowledge I have in my head even save my life now? With the sharp ring of a blade, Lai Kang slowly drew his 3-foot saber. He approached with a cold glint in his eyes. "It seems you, the transmigrator who took over the 14th Prince's body, have run out of tricks." "Wait," Li Jing cried out, "if the Emperor kills me, it will be a case of fratricide. It would be detrimental to his reputation. Are you trying to trap His Majesty in an act of injustice?" Lai Kang nodded in agreement. "You have a point, you've just reminded me. Guards, send him on his way with red-crowned crane poison. Also, send for the head of the imperial clan court. Tell him the 14th Prince died from a severe cold." Li Jing's face went deathly pale. He said sharply, "This is murder. Is there no law in the Great Yang dynasty?" Lai Kang sighed. "Don't you know? His Majesty is the law in Great Yang." With that, he held Li Jing down. A masked embroidered uniform guard approached slowly, holding a bamboo tube. Wait, in his despair, a sudden idea flashed through Li Jing's mind. His will to live surged, and he shouted, "I haven't seen the book collection here yet. You can't kill me. I don't even know what is and isn't in here yet." Lai Kang let go of him with a look of regret. "You have no real skills, so what's with the act? Did you think you were something special just for having some superior knowledge?" Back in the day, of the 2 crown princesses, one was a chemistry graduate student, and the other was a PhD in Chinese language and literature. Neither of them could make a single ripple against His Majesty. "Who do you think you are?" Hearing this, Li Jing's face turned pale once more. "No way, I've transmigrated. I'm a prince. Aren't I supposed to be the main character? What's this about a chemistry grad student and a Chinese lit PhD being crown princesses? Did you two seriously transmigrate just to give the Emperor spoilers and romance him to raise his favorability score? You were executed to serve as a warning to others, weren't you?" The end, just as Li Jing was racking his brains for a way out. My ship had already reached Jiangnan province. The surrounding fields were covered in silt left by the flood. Though there were signs of life, the air was thick with the desolation that follows a great disaster. "Let's go, head to that county of Hanji's first." The memory of that report, about him saving chickens and ducks instead of his own daughter, made my temples throb. A man who doesn't even care for his own family. How could I possibly expect him to care about the affairs of the nation? He's just a selfish, self-serving political opportunist. He's trying to use the people's will to force the imperial court to give him a promotion. Promoting a man like that, I'm afraid I'll make myself sick with rage. Switch to military horses. I led my men straight to Yangtze County. Inside, the sound of gongs and drums filled the air. A decorated scarecrow, wearing a painted paper official's hat, was being held aloft and paraded by a crowd. I suddenly let out a small laugh. He's quite self-aware. First, he tells the people all about his great deeds. What's next? Preparing a 10,000 name umbrella and a 100 family robe. And then take all that supposed acclaim to his new post. Kong Shi said grimly, "My lord, this man has already captured the hearts of the people in Yangtze County. If we arrest him openly, I fear it might incite a rebellion. Perhaps we should act in secret." I shook my head. I prefer to do things out in the open. I detest underhanded schemes, since he seems to think the imperial court is filled with blind fools. Then I'll see with my own two eyes whether he truly loves the people as his children, just as his performance suggests. Let's go to his home. The entrance to Han Ji's residence was piled high with melons, cured meat, and eggs. People would occasionally approach and bow respectfully. I watched as a gaunt old man, his face filled with reverence, set down a basket of eggs that represented half a year of his savings. I couldn't watch any longer. Yangtze County was saved because everyone worked together with one heart. Yet now, he's taking all the credit for himself. I said calmly, "Break down the door and take him." The surrounding embroidered uniform guards stormed the residence. The next moment, an authoritative, angry shout rang out from the courtyard. "Let go. I am an official appointed by the imperial court. I am a benefactor to the people of Yangtze County. Aren't you afraid they will rise up against you?" The courtyard gate opened, and a tightly bound Han Ji was hauled out. The onlooking crowd erupted. These scoundrel soldiers are actually arresting Lord Han. Is there any justice left in this world? Lord Han has worked himself to the bone for Yangtze County. To think he is being slandered like this. In no time at all. We were soon tightly surrounded by the enraged crowd, but fortunately, the outer ring was held by fully armored Jin Yi Wei guards. I looked at Han Ji and declared, "Han Ji, do you know of your crimes?" Han Ji bellowed in anger, "What crime have I committed? Who are you, to so blatantly disregard the laws of the Great Yang? Are you not afraid that the people of this realm will rise up to punish you for your sins?" Who am I? I scanned the crowd around us. And I calmly said, "We are the sovereign of the Great Yang." The surrounding soldiers then roared in unison, "His Majesty has come to Jiangnan personally to provide disaster relief. You have obstructed the imperial procession. Are you trying to rebel? You have obstructed the imperial procession. Are you trying to rebel?" The sound thundered across the fields, instantly silencing the curses and shouts. I waved my hand, "Open the cordon, let the surrounding townsfolk in." Kong's eyes' expression changed in alarm, and he moved to stand in front of me. "Your Majesty, this is unwise." I said calmly, "There is nothing to fear. They are only easily misled because they are unenlightened. Today, we shall enlighten them. Let them see what makes a truly good official." Han Ji, his face ghastly pale, snapped back to reality and stammered, Your Majesty, this subject does not understand. What crime has this subject committed?" One of the townsfolk shouted, "It's true, Your Majesty. When the floods came, Lord Han disregarded even his own daughter for the sake of Yangtze County. Such a heart for the people could move the heavens. What could be wrong with that?" I looked at Han Ji and said, enunciating each word, "Do you truly not know your fault?" Han Ji clenched his jaw and declared, "This subject has poured his heart and soul into his work. What fault is there?" I nodded and said coldly, "Very well. Then today, we will ensure you die knowing exactly why." I dismounted my horse, took the small, emotionless girl beside him into my arms, and said gently, "Yao Yao. Don't be afraid." Then I turned to the crowd and shouted, "You claim that Han Ji saved you. Tell us, who among you did he actually save? Step forward." The surrounding people looked at one another in confusion. After a long pause, 7 people hesitantly stepped forward. I ignored the 7 and, looking at the rest of the crowd, said coldly, "Did this Han Ji save you? Just because he saved a few of his neighbors, that makes him a good official who speaks for the people. Are you well fed? Do you have proper shelter? Are you warmly clothed? He has not accomplished a single tangible thing for you. Instead, he makes a grand show of this minor deed. Everyone in the entire Jiangnan province has heard of your great reputation, Han Ji." I stared at Han Ji and sneered, "What do you say? Sacrificing one daughter in exchange for a stepping stone to advance your career? That was quite a bargain, wasn't it? You are supposed to be the parent of this county. Today you abandon your daughter for your career. Tomorrow will you abandon an entire county for it? Do you take us for a blind fool?" The promotional evaluations for officials. 60% are based on public feedback gathered by the Jin Yi Wei. For 3 consecutive years, Yangtze County has received the lowest possible rating. Do you think we are treating you unfairly? No, it is because you are incompetent. People under your rule can neither fill their stomachs nor keep themselves warm. Of what use are you? And yet you delude yourself into thinking you can manipulate the people to force us to promote you? In the future, will the officials of the Great Yang no longer compete based on their merits, and instead compete on who is the better actor? Upon hearing this, Han Ji's face went deathly pale. My whole body felt limp as I turned away indifferently. I coolly ordered his dismissal and execution, with Han Ji's crimes to be announced throughout the 9 provinces and 24 prefectures of Daeong. Let this serve as a warning. If anyone dares to follow his example, they will suffer the same fate. Behind me, the people watched my departing figure. A thought seemed to cross their minds. So, a good official is one who ensures the people are fed and clothed. A breeze stirred in Jongnan. Holding the little girl, I boarded the carriage. Looking at the girl's vacant expression, I said softly, "Yao Yao. Do you hate me for killing your father?" Han Yao snapped back to her senses. She looked at me timidly and whispered, "Han Yao's father already died half a year ago. In the flood half a year ago. After daddy abandoned her for the 7th time. He was already dead to me." I sighed softly and gently stroked her coarse hair. Shui Ning hugged Han Yao with a pained expression, then looked at me cautiously. "My lord, I'd like to adopt this little girl." I nodded without expression. "Fine. I also want to see if Han Yao, upon returning to the imperial family, will become just like those other siblings of hers." After hearing the little girl's story, I felt that I hadn't been harsh enough on Han Ji. He used his 7-year-old daughter as a prop for his act, parading her around all day to put on a show for the common people. No wonder Yongzhou County's evaluations were consistently the lowest of the low. Yet not a single citizen was willing to replace him. It turns out they saw how the magistrate treated his own daughter, and comparing it to their own situations, they felt this magistrate wasn't so bad to them after all. It's a long and arduous road. Having spent 10 years with those 2 women, I also benefited greatly. Back then, they wanted to spread their ideas to the world. But I stopped them, because those things were a sharp blade, and more than that, a double-edged sword that could harm others as well as oneself. What's new isn't always good, it has to be suitable. So, I picked and chose from the things I coaxed out of the 2 crown princesses and applied them to Daeong. I had originally thought we would build a prosperous age together in the future. I never expected those 2 fools. I pinched the bridge of my nose, suppressing the memories, and lifted the window curtain. I looked at the common people on both sides of the road. It's been 3 months since the disaster relief funds and grain were sent. Yet there are still so many victims. Suddenly, my gaze shifted. I saw a masked woman wearing a bamboo hat with a light veil. That woman was giving medicine to the victims. I frowned slightly. Why does that figure look so familiar? But weren't those 2 sentenced to death? How can the dead be brought back to life? "Uncle Emperor, can I eat this?" Han Yao's timid voice brought me back to my senses. When I looked out the window again, the woman was gone. I shook my head and muttered to myself, I must have seen it wrong. How could the dead possibly come back to life? However, in a corner hidden from my sight, the masked woman from a moment ago was clutching her chest, gasping for breath. She then raised her wrist to a small screen and said with a trembling voice, "Sis. This is bad, so bad. That moody tyrant. He's here in Jongnan." A series of clattering sounds came from the watch, followed by a voice crying out in pain. "Is he insane or what? He's already killed us both once. And he still won't let us go? He's already killed us both once. And he's still not letting us go? Why is he chasing us down to kill us again? He didn't see you, did he?" The masked woman said with lingering fear, "He saw me. But I don't think he recognized me. But you can never be too careful." A resolute voice came from the watch, "No way. We can't stay here any longer. What if we run into that tyrant again? He'll definitely grant us another death sentence. The last time I died, my stomach hurt so much that I'm still traumatized." "Then let's go," the masked woman said quickly. "I remember the next part of the plot is that there's going to be a war in Seibei. A war is sure to have casualties. This time, we'll definitely be able to save up enough merit points to go home. Let's go, let's go. We leave today." In the carriage, I suddenly asked Kong Shi, "Do you think the dead can be resurrected?" Hearing this, Kong Zai's heart skipped a beat. "My little master, please don't be thinking about the 2 crown princesses. You had them sentenced to death. I've already scattered their ashes." Kong Shi quickly said, "That should be impossible, right? How can the dead come back to life? Wouldn't that throw the world into chaos?" I nodded in agreement. "That's true. How could that person possibly be Yun Ru?" Suddenly, a magnificent white bird landed on the windowsill. I opened the message tube, chuckled, and shook my head. Lai Kang said in the letter that the 14th brother is in his room day and night, writing furiously. Although it is a disgrace to refined culture, he genuinely enjoys reading it and begs me to spare his life. Looking at the title on the letter paper, I was puzzled. What is this, Battle Through? Is it so good that it can even enthrall a brute like Lai Kang? Never mind, since it is indeed a book I don't have in my study. I'll spare his life for now. Kyoto. In the former crown prince's study, a pale-faced Li Jing was brandishing his brush over rice paper. Beside him was Lai Kang, who was stuffing a steamed bun into his mouth while staring intently at the paper. Just as Li Jing stopped to rub his wrist, he got a kick in the butt. Without even looking up, Lai Kang said, "What are you dawdling for? Can't you see we're about to catch up to where you're writing? If you don't write 10,000 words today, this official will whip your butt into 8 pieces." Li Jing, raising his sore and numb hand, gritted his teeth. "Go on, kill me if you have the guts. Do you know how hard it is to use this stupid brush? How old do you think I am? This is illegal child labor. So, you're saying there's no more, is that it?" The long saber was unsheathed. No more means death. Staring at the cold gleam of the wild goose feather saber, Li Jing's mouth twitched, and he muttered, "Look at you, so impatient. I'll get to writing right now." After saying that, he gave a wicked laugh. He swapped the pickle dipping dish in front of Lai Kang with the inkwell. "Even if I can't beat you, I'll still disgust you to death." A rush of hurried footsteps was heard. Kong Nian handed Lai Kang a reply letter. Lai Kang regretfully pushed a thick stack of rice paper to Kong Nian. "Here, since His Majesty wants it, then send it all to him." Kong Nian looked at Lai Kang's ink-blackened mouth and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Just as Lai Kang was about to deliver a flying kick, he was held back tightly by Kong Nian. "Control yourself," His Majesty said to keep him alive. "He's considered the 14th prince now." Li Jing, who had been listening intently, threw down his brush and burst out laughing. "Ha ha ha, I am the 14th prince now, you damned eunuch. And you, with your deadpan face. Go on, hit me." Kong Nian's expression turned cold. He took the imperial edict he had just brought out and put it away again. He said with a smile that didn't reach his eyes, "We haven't announced the decree yet." Lai Kang instantly understood. A sinister smile appeared as he approached. Li Jing's face turned pale as he shouted, "What do you think you're doing? I'm going to tell the emperor to have you beheaded. Don't come any closer." Lai Kang cornered the trembling Li Jing and sneered. His Majesty's previous decree was, "Model. I'll use any means necessary to make you produce something you don't have. I gave you some leeway before, but now, you're becoming rather tactless." As soon as the words were spoken, the sounds of a violent beating echoed from the study. Someone was about to defy an imperial edict. The officials of Jiangnan were all on high alert as if facing a great enemy. But I, along with Shui Ning and Kong Shi, disguised ourselves as young nobles on an excursion and vanished. Kong Shi was puzzled as to why I exposed my identity when dealing with Han Ji. Only to go missing again now. I sighed softly, because of the mess my father left behind. Jiangnan is the very heart of Daeong. If I were to make a grand show of eliminating them one by one, Jiangnan would surely fall into chaos. Xiao Yu once said, "If a program is running, don't mess with it. If you have to change it, you must make a backup first. Then, when the time comes, strike a fatal blow." Her words gave me an idea. Jiangnan is currently stable and can still be taxed, so I'll leave them be for now. Once I hold the imperial examinations and find suitable replacements, then I'll deal with them. Kong Shi respectfully agreed, but he didn't dare ask more, because this master had just personally slaughtered Xiao Yu and Yun Ru with his own hands. If His Majesty were displeased one day, he feared he'd be the one losing his head. Han Yao asked in a low voice, "Uncle, was Sister Xiao Yu your lover?" I was taken aback for a moment, then chuckled lightly. "I suppose she was. At least, once upon a time." Kong Shi, who was driving the carriage, turned pale. "My dear young lady, please don't say any more. The more you talk, the more His Majesty will think about it, and the more he thinks, the closer I am to death. I was the one who sent off His Majesty's lover. I'm the one who scattered her ashes. Then where did she go?" I thought of that ill-fated pair and smiled. She went to the place she wanted to go. They deceived Uncle, but that's all in the past now. Uncle isn't thinking about them anymore. Han Yao carefully smoothed my brow, telling me not to frown. I laughed heartily and agreed. Shui Ning looked at Han Yao with admiration. A whole 10 years of companionship. If only they hadn't taken a wrong step. Shui Ning couldn't understand why they would betray such an extraordinary man like His Majesty. Perhaps they were just mad. Suddenly, the carriage halted. From outside came Kong Zai's cold shout, "Who goes there, blocking the road?" A frightened voice replied, "I am Ning Yuantu, the third son of the main branch of the Ning family of Jiangnan. I'm being hunted. I beg you, please do me a favor." "Kong Shi, let him in," I said in a clear voice. After repeatedly checking to ensure there was no danger, Kong Shi pulled Ning Yuantu into the carriage. This Ning family was an asset I personally planted in Jiangnan when I was regent. Ning Yuantu began his bitter tale. 3 years ago, I fell in love at first sight with Yan Luoling of the Yan family and sent the betrothal gifts. But on our wedding day, she left without a word. I later found out that the Marquis of Jingyuan, Xu Pingchao, had been seriously injured and fallen into a coma while suppressing bandits. In a moment of consciousness, he uttered Luling's name. The Xu family then produced an imperial marriage edict from the late emperor and went to the Yan family to propose. Luoling had no choice but to be carried over in a wedding sedan. For 3 years after the marriage, Luoling fulfilled her duties and even gave birth to a daughter. But recently, the Marquis woke up and now insists on marrying his childhood sweetheart, Ruan Weilan, as a wife of equal standing. He even accused Luoling of being a social climber. Unwilling to argue, Luoling stated plainly she would divorce him to make way for Ruan Weilan. Marquis Xu assumed that Luoling and I had rekindled our old flame, so he ordered my death and has been hunting me ever since. After hearing him out, my expression turned a little strange. This kid isn't being entirely honest. Yan Luoling gave birth to a daughter for a man in a coma? This kid seems to know a bit too much. Wait a minute, Xu Pingchao? My gaze sharpened abruptly. Isn't he the consort I chose for my 9th sister? Back then, he said he would rather die than marry a princess, went off to fight bandits, and was seriously injured. So, in my imperial father's name, I granted him an edict allowing him to choose his own wife. Now he's used my edict to get married, and yet he wants to marry someone else. Now he's used my edict to get married, and yet he wants to marry someone else. Is he trying to slap me in the face? If I say you deserve to die, then you die. I looked toward the Yan family, then thought of Xu Pingchao. This Jiangnan region is truly a land of exceptional people. A mere marquis, not thinking of serving the country, resting on his laurels, indulging in romance solely on the grace of his ancestors. He even dares to defy an imperial edict. It was truly the right decision to come to Jiangnan. I said faintly, Kong Shi, send the message. Assemble the men, go to the Marquis of Jingyuan's residence. On the surface, I only have 1 carriage, but I'm no reckless youth. There are at least 2,000 Jinyue following in the surrounding forests. The main army is ready for battle. Our group advanced silently toward Danyang Commandery. Danyang Commandery, the residence of the Marquis of Jingyuan. Xu Pingchao, with his arm around the woman beside him, sneered at Yan Luoling. I advise you not to be foolish. If you agree today, you will still be the mistress of this marquis's residence. Back then, when the late emperor forced me to marry a princess, I was even willing to defy the edict. I was determined to marry Wei Lan even when I was severely wounded. Yet today, as the lady of the house, you show no capacity for tolerance. How can I possibly trust you to manage the household? Yan Luoling, shocked and confused, said hoarsely, Marquis Xu. Have I ever wronged you? In my 3 years here, have I ever once tarnished our good name? Just give me a letter of divorce, my lord, and I will take Junner and leave on my own. My lord, why must you force my hand like this? Xu Pingchao sighed, Luoling. I know you admire me, even to the point of taking advantage while I was unconscious, but I prefer Wei Lan. So just be more magnanimous. Junner is my daughter, too. How could I bear to watch her suffer with you? He waved his hand, and stout servants pushed Yan Luoling into a room and locked the door. You will wait here for 3 days. Once I've brought Wei Lan into the residence, I'll let you out. With that, he put his arm around the woman and left. Yan Luoling was in utter despair. It was this very residence that used an imperial edict to force me to marry a living corpse. It was this residence that, for the sake of an heir, drugged and forced me to bear a daughter. This declining marquisate has been relying on my dowry just to maintain its dignity. Xu Pingchao, you are less than a man. A knock sounded at the door. Yan Luoling opened it and pulled a nervously laughing Ning Yuantu into the room. Didn't you run away? Aren't you afraid Xu Pingchao will have you executed? Ning Yuantu chuckled. He has powerful connections. But the person backing me no longer has anyone above them. Ling Ling, if Xu Pingchao were gone, would you be willing to marry me? Yan Luling's face flushed red, and she punched him playfully. Ning Yuantu firmly took her small hand and pressed a bamboo tube into it. If anyone bullies you, point this at the sky and pull the string. Someone will come to save you. Wait for me to finish my important business, and I'll come back for you. Yan Luoling wiped the sweat from his brow and whispered, don't push yourself too hard. A grand wedding at the Marquise's residence, adorned with festive lanterns and streamers. Our party of 4 stepped into the bustling residence. Kong Shi, watching the merchants who milled around a lavishly dressed old woman, whispered, my lord. That old madam seems far too close with those merchants. The great Yang dynasty strictly forbids military families from engaging in commerce. I said dismissively, it's more than just being close. They're already in business together. Power and wealth, If you only have power but no wealth, why would so many people come to offer congratulations? And if you have wealth without power, you are merely a lamb for the slaughter. Shen Yiki fumed. I never imagined the Marquis of Jingyuan's residence would sink to this level. Allowing mere merchants into their main hall, Kong Zai's face turned ruthless, and he made a chopping motion with his hand. My lord, shall we? I shook my head, gazing at the crowd laughing and chatting around us. I said softly, surround the residence.